I went into another dimension.
So tell me
You know
about
how
that.
there are different dimensions are?
Okay.
Yeah, and I was in a school like a university. So I was in a classroom, different classrooms. And one of the classrooms that I was in, you remember when you go to school, you wanted to learn. And there were teachers teaching you. So each classroom I would learn different stuff.
So describe the classroom. Who's the teacher? What do they look like? Come on, this is cool.
Well,
For questions, comments, and to show your support, visit us on the web at afroempath.com. You were speaking earlier about your childhood, how you might have had some trauma in your childhood. I'm wondering kind of about your empathic abilities or when you started traveling. I think you're talking about astral traveling, right? And
yeah.
when did that happen in relation to the trauma in your childhood? Like, was it before that or after that, or was it in response to that?
That it started because of the pain I was going through. And I didn't realize what was going on until I got older and I acknowledged what people were talking about, and by reading it, that's when I realized that, look, I was doing that since small.
Okay, so
I used it.
Go ahead.
Okay, it used to be like, yeah, my heart is beating, man.
It's okay.
Like, yeah, I'm going back into memories, so
Yes.
I used to be abused every night, man.
Sexually or physically?
Sexually, and I used to get a lot of licks on my mom.
What about your mother?
She used to like beat me really, really bad.
Okay.
And I don't know, man.
It's okay. It's all right. So you're saying that this was physical abuse from your mother is what it was, or was it sexual abuse?
Oh fuck.
Okay.
I think that she knew what was going on, and she had like a hate for me, and she used to treat me really, really bad for my other brother and sisters.
So what you're saying is you were sexually abused by the man she was with, and because of it, she was to hit you?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying that you were being sexually abused by one man, and the person that was supposed to protect you began to take out her frustration out on you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I had no protection. I had none. I wanted to talk to her about what I was going through, and I couldn't because she slapped me in my face at times.
So she
and
was
another time she was like,
she was in a state of denial, is what you're saying, yeah?
yeah, she slapped me, and I tried to talk to her. I was 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
but it was going on way before. It started like when I was about 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day when I was going through my pain, I saw myself left my body. And I went into another place. I was hanging by like a cord. I remember that. And I went out and I first saw like the moon and the space and stuff. I used to just look at like the universe or the planets. I'm not sure what I used to see, but I know I was like in space. And I used to sit in the other galaxies there. And that's how it started. That's what I could remember. I just used to sit there and watch the other planets and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I would go back to my body if I wanted to. Like if I'm ready, I'm say, okay, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to go back. I would instantly be back there. Didn't know how. And I just started like traveling to the places, and I even saw like the I don't know if it was the past or the present or what, but it just happened. I don't know how come, man. I can't explain how it did. And every time like I was through this, I would close my eyes really, really tight and just picture this place, and I would see myself leaving my body and going there.
Gotcha.
I went to other places. I saw other places, but my comfort was like sitting on a galaxy or something and watching another one. It was just me alone and the stars and the sky. It was just me alone exist there with these other planets.
Gotcha.
And sometimes I would go different places. I think that going out there, I don't know if it was into the food or stuff, but I met a man there. I don't know if it was a guide or what. On my journey, people asked me, what am I doing here? I don't know if they were spirits. I believe they were. I don't know. I'm still a little bit confused though.
So you're saying
Is
that
my journey?
as you're astral traveling, you're meeting people or spirits in that realm, and they don't know
Yeah.
why you're there. They're asking you why. What are you doing here?
Why am I here?
Gotcha. And what did you say in response? Did you hear me, sister? I'm not sure if you can hear me because I'm not hearing you currently. I think we might have lost our connection. Hold on. So we just to kind of retouch what we were talking about before the call dropped. You were saying that you were beginning to travel into the astral realm during these moments of extreme trauma in your early childhood.
Yes.
And when you're there, you were seeing essentially the universe in motion, right?
Yes, that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to travel until at time I reached to a place. I don't think I was supposed to reach there. I don't know if it's the further. I call it the further. I don't know. I don't know, but to me, it's like what's the further?
A further reaches of the astral realm. You're saying
Beyond, yeah. I wasn't to go so far.
like a place you're not really supposed to be. You're trying to say maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so
I met the Orishas, I met Kala, I met a lot of spirits through that as well.
you're saying during your astral traveling, you went to a place beyond where a typical human would astral travel to. And so what exactly were they like, and what were the messages they had to give you?
It's like when you astral travel, you go on a plane where there are other people as well. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you see like people like myself out there as well, which it really used to happen to me when I was younger. But I reached to a place and I saw this man. He was helping me build a bridge, and that's the furthest way I went. He was a dark-skinned man, and he was telling me that like I am beyond. I'm not supposed to be there. So he came like my guide, and I was building a bridge that's only. It's like the entities on the like the dead side, I believe. They were building a bridge like to cross over on that side. It sounds crazier, but it is the truth.
Oh, it's okay.
And yeah, I'm listening to myself. I want to laugh, but it is the truth, man.
Oh,
That's
no.
why I don't talk about this to anyone because
No,
like I'm mad.
No, I understand. No, you're not sounding crazy to me. So obviously there was this one dark skinned man that was helping you build a bridge, yeah?
So the other side that he was building, it was, I think, to go to the land of the dead. I'm not too sure because he told me like, what am I doing so far? How come I came so far? I was like, I don't know. I've been doing this for years and I've reached here. I don't know how come I reached here. And he's like, no one has reached. He didn't say no one. Like he was like, we're not supposed to come like beyond certain further. We're not supposed to like be there.
Mm-hmm. Sister, can you turn off the vibration for a bit? Just put on silent so I don't hear that.
Okay, hold on. I thought I put it off, huh? Okay.
All right. So you're basically through the trauma that you experienced in your childhood. You met a guide, we'll just say, right, in the astral realm, and he was telling you that you're kind of going a little bit further than maybe you should be going.
Yes. Correct.
Maybe I'm thinking in my mind. Obviously, you're using astral traveling at this point as an escape. You know what I'm trying to say, for your spirit or your soul to escape what you're going through in this in this earthly realm. And I'm assuming he's trying to help you. He's trying to help you get back to that. I'm going to say to do what you came to do. Yeah.
There are energies out there. There are spirits out there, not energies. Spirits that they would love to be in my spot. So I gotta be careful because there were a few of them that wanted to literally, it's hard to explain. And they wanted to come back instead of me, that they could trap me there, that I could be trapped there, that I have to be careful.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that there's like disembodied spirits that would like to take your role in your vessel and what you're going through on Earth, and use that for their own gain, as because they think that they think that they have the strength to do what you're not doing.
Yes, it is very impossible for them, but it could be as well, because sometimes they come back on the same plane with you. It's different. I've heard that they told me that, but don't let them recognize me, because a lot of them are wishing to be where I am.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I
But I
understand
wasn't frightened, and it's like, even if I close my eyes, I can do it. It became easy.
So
I go to
basically,
different places. And
yeah,
can't stop it now.
no, I understand. So basically, in my understanding, what that is like, as empaths, our role here, and this is something I didn't tell you before, is that our role as empaths is to come on this plane, right? This gross material plane, right? And soak up the falsehood or the pain of the world. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's our job. That's our role. Correct.
Whoa.
Yeah, because in this world, there's two things. There's truth and falsehood, right?
Yeah.
Truth and falsehood. Now, all false things pass away. Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so that means that in order for it to pass away, in order for it to be exterminated, we have to take, we as the people who have come to do the task that we're doing, have to come into this world with our beautiful pure hearts and take and soak up this pain, this trauma, and this sickness and this disease of the world, this evil. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yes. So that's why you were molested as a child. That's why you were beaten by your mother as a child. Now,
But she's up to now.
Say again.
I said she still hates me.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. The point is that you right now you're a human being, right? So you're a soul or a spirit experiencing itself as a human being, right?
Yeah.
But you know through traveling that this is not the real you. This is just an avatar or a vessel that you're inhabiting, correct?
Yeah.
So right. So with that said, that means that you've also had other mothers, correct?
Yeah, I have other mothers, spiritual mothers.
Yes, exactly. So the point is that when you begin to think on an occult or metaphysical level, right, beyond your human circumstances, it can help bring peace to your life, right? Because you're no longer expecting a motherly love from this woman whose family you came to incarnate in to experience pain, right?
And then I knew due to Astral traveling and thing, you would not believe that I know this lady here, and she is no longer part of this world. She's in another dimension, if you know what I mean. So it's not my mom anymore.
So you're saying that your current mother is not even here anymore in this world. You're saying? No,
she is physically, but his spirit is in another dimension.
Exactly. And this is something that I've told people time and time again, that I like to use there's a popular show called The Walking Dead. You ever hear about that show, The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I did. I know it. It's a horror something.
Yeah, so I mean, I like to use this because it's if you look at the whole zombie archetype, it can help you understand that sometimes people are here in the physical, they're still physically here, and their bodies are animated by the spirit, because there's a spirit that moves across the earth. You know what I'm trying to say? So even a roach has a spirit, a rat has a spirit. You know what I'm trying to say? So they're just controlled by the spirit that moves across the face of the earth, but their spirit or their soul is no longer here in this plane. So they're just playing out whatever demon has taken over their soul or their spirit. You know what I'm trying to say? Because they no longer had the strength to fight it. You know. Mm-hmm. So basically, I tell people sometimes, because you're not the only sister I have spoken to that's had an abusive childhood, and a lot of times those people, they'll notice that when they go around their parents, their mother or their father, that
Mm-hmm.
they kind of feel this demonic presence around them that's not really that has no that's void of love. You know what I'm trying to say?
Hold on.
Yep.
When they astral travel, they feel that presence?
No, not when they astral travel. I'm talking about in the physical world. They feel that presence still. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? Like, meaning that when you go around your mother, you probably still feel this angry woman that was upset that you were being intimate with someone that she loved.
How could I be intimate with Diana?
That's what she's in her mind is angry about. Whether I'm not saying, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me and you, but to her, I'm saying the demon that took over her vessel. That's what that demon uses against you. Does that make sense?
I needed her. I had no one to talk to. I
Yeah.
went to my grand, and she told me that I need to hush because this guy is mine and my mom. And I would never forget her words.
She said what? What did she tell you?
She told me that don't say anything to anyone because he's mine and my mom. I do want to mention to you that the astral world, man, it is like I went in there at some point. I was doing painting and stuff. I was working with my hands in the astral world. It's like anything I wanted to do, I became. I was comforted. It was like my dream world to me. I could be me. I could be more than me. I could be happy in that world. So it comes like now. I could just lay back and just close my eyes, and it would happen. I still want to know why. Why does it happen so easy? And for other people, they can never get it. Why for me?
Well, I think for you, you were already a spiritual, a highly advanced spiritual being when you came on Earth in the first place. You know what I'm trying to say?
And I want to tell you something else, sir.
Sure.
When I like 8, 9 years as well. My another, are you hearing me?
Yes.
My another sort of comfort. I would sit down in the grass at home in the lawn, and I would connect with the earth, the sky, the elements, and that was my comfort. Nature. And right now I am feeling like I am drawn. I need to be drawn. I need to go back there. It's like it's calling me. Nature right now is calling me. I don't know how to explain it, huh? But it's very hard to explain. I used to sit in the grass in the field, and then I would hear like a voice talking to me, and I thought it was God. I knew it was God. And he would talk to me, and I would watch the sky, and I would just connect with everything, even the sea, because I do live in the Caribbean. So from small, I grew up in the water. On holidays, we would go to the beach. We had a house on the beach, and even these stuff, man, these are the things that comfort me. But I had no idea why. But now I understand it that they are the elements: fire, earth, wind, and water. I understand it through the oceans as well. But I do know now that it has been in me since I was a little girl. And that's the only way I used to get my peace and my comfort. I would make up a tent and as well with sticks and go underneath the blanket, and I would just have to take it off just to connect with the breathing and stuff. So I don't talk about it because I feel like if I say it, I'm weird.
No, it's okay. We're all weird on this show. We're all weird, so don't worry about it. You know, you're among family, yeah.
Yeah, I know you all are like family too because we experience the same stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm free now to talk about anything I feel.
Yeah. So I got to tell you first of all, I personally do not astral travel. If I do, I don't recall it. You know.
Yeah.
But I do understand it. To a degree, I understand why you're doing it. You know, obviously, initially it was a response to trauma. You know what I'm trying to say?
I ain't lying to you. It's the trauma and the licks. My mom used to give me bad licks, man. She used to beat me. Sometimes I feel I would knock out her.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you developed it under that severe trauma. I mean, it's a skill that I'm assuming almost anybody can do. But I mean, I think when you're young, you're still closer to God. Most people are still closer to God when they're young. You know what I'm trying to say?
But just by thinking about it, it's fucking up my brain. It is.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, ultimately, you know,
I'm opening back that door of memories, and I shut it off 2 years as a teen.
mhm. I mean, ultimately, you want to learn to be centered through meditation. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and
And
that's
not
why I
and,
want to listen to myself.
say again, sister. Say it again.
I want to center myself as well because I feel my energy is being drained,
Yeah.
and sometimes I feel like I can't move forward. Read a lot of books, man, to try to meditate. One is called The Shaman. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, I'm not. But here's the thing, sister. Guess what? You don't need a book to meditate.
No.
Here's
Yeah,
here's what you need. Here's what's stopping you from meditating. Your own fear and your own pain and your own trauma. Does that make sense?
yeah, correct. And I feel like I can see myself as they were teaching me. It's not one of the books, it's in the group that you can heal yourself through the light. Do you agree?
The light.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what that means. The light is the light of your soul. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
Ultimate,
and it's like the divine light, we call it into you.
the light,
Because I
the light is already in you. You don't have to call it into you. You know what I'm trying to say? The light is
so
your
but it gets dim and it gets brighter, this I know for a fact.
yeah. The light is inside you. What you're doing is listen. What is stopping the light from within you from shining? You know what I'm trying to say?
This is it. This is what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
So you saw it correctly, yeah?
Say again.
I said you're saying it correctly, so the
Yeah.
light is, and how do we bring it out?
Okay. The light is the light of your soul, right? It's trapped. It's in your heart, right? And that
Yeah.
heart is trapped via your nervous system. Does that make sense?
You are so correct.
Yes.
So,
So the trauma that you went through as a child, right? And all the hurts that you've gone through in life have programmed your nervous system to block out the pain,
yeah. But
right?
when I talk about it, it's like it's washing with tears, man.
Yes, listen. So as you begin to breathe, right? What you're doing is you're expanding your nervous system, right? The nerves in your body, right?
Yeah.
And so it becomes a fight between the fear that's built into your body and the will
Yeah.
of God, which is built into your soul.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make a lot of sense.
Okay, so when you're taking deep breaths, you're fueling the fire of your soul, right?
Yeah.
To come out through your nervous system and to enter your nervous system, right? But when
Okay.
you don't meditate and you don't center yourself actively, then your vessel then becomes controlled by fear or the past experiences or the external world. Does that make sense? You know, why would you need to escape via astral traveling
Yeah.
when your role was to come on here and take the pain and to transmute it through you, right?
Yeah, but this is what I want to show you now. Sometimes I don't want to do it, and when I close my eyes, it happens.
Well, you know what, sister? I would say
Yeah.
ultimately because you still need to regain control of your nervous system. You know,
Okay, well, thanks.
sorry if that seems like it's mean or something like that. You know, but I think that ultimately, let me ask you this: do you meditate every day?
Yeah, I do every day, every minute, man.
Every minute?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Come on, Sally. Don't you don't lie to me here.
I have a lady sitting with me. She can tell you I'm always by myself meditating. Am I wrong, Granny? Huh? I always do.
Okay, all right. I'll believe you then.
Tend to my kids or go somewhere, go to the shop. And even if I'm walking to the in that zone.
Okay. So then you understand what I'm talking about then, right? About opening the nervous system and things like that?
Yes, I do.
So my
Because
question
I hear a voice, it directs me. It
mhm.
told me that I have to connect with my chakras. It told me that I need like the spiritual awareness, that I should go into the groups and stuff. So I listen to the voice,
So my thing is then why do you not have control over when you astral travel then?
because I feel a fight, man. I feel like I'm getting a lot of blows,
That's my
like
thing.
negative.
That's
I I'm getting like a lot of negative energies being sent to me from people.
Yeah, well,
So this, and I know it because I don't know how I know things, but I do.
I'm not disregarding that. My thing is though, you need to combat them in meditation. You know what I'm trying to say? Because honestly, there's a side of everybody that is a warrior. You know what I'm trying to say, or a warrioress, right?
Yes.
So you need to go beat their ass in your meditation.
Yeah. Well, how do I?
How do you do that? You imagine their energy, right, and you bring it into your meditation, right?
Yeah.
And you do whatever visualization you got to do. Cut off their fucking head. You know what I'm trying to say?
You would not believe I got this message from a spiritual brother
Yes.
Friday. He told me you are so powerful, Sally. You can fight. You don't need to do a lot of stuff. You can fight your own energies within you itself. You can
Correct.
fight your things and everything within you. You don't know how powerful you are and the gifts that you have. So I'm like, well, how do you know this? Because he's in a school of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So now he guides me because I ask a lot of questions. I am trying to do it, and just like how you showed me the way, he told me the same thing.
That's exactly it.
I'm like, it can start from your head and you can root it out through your foot. He was telling me that as well. Connect with a tree as well.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I think the what nature does is nature helps to ground you, helps to center
This is
you.
he said exactly what you said.
Yeah.
He said nature grounds you and you can ground yourself with a tree and you
Yes.
can get rid of all your enemies, your bad vibes, your bad energy, and talk to the tree and root yourself with the tree and see the roots coming out your foot. And he
Mm-hmm.
was guiding and everything.
Yeah.
And I did it, but man, I've been attacked left, right, and center where I got like put out. I'm on the freaking streets like 3 days now. And this is how I know it's a spiritual warfare that I'm going through. Because every time I start to do it, I started doing it. Negative forces started to come around me, man. And they were in the form of men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and then I do know that I need to keep away from these men, so I am trying to do it.
Yeah. Well, they're only gonna feed off of what you're giving them. So obviously, if you have lust, you know.
So you're making me smile within my heart. It's like they are being sent to you to take your energy away from you. And they're gonna put you where it's gonna have you stagnant, feeling sleepy, and make you stay one place.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what though? You know, they're only you're giving out energy, right? Your aura is leaking energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he
Be,
saw it to me. He said,
yeah,
"You're always beyond."
exactly. Because you're not you're afraid to take control of your own power. Does that make sense? Listen. Your dark side, right? All the nasty shit that's gone on in your life, right? That is
Over
that is a side you need to deal with and
remove.
embrace and overcome, right? To protect yourself while you're on the physical plane. Does that make sense?
Correct. And trying to do that. That's why God sent you to me. I am trying to do that. That's will help.
Yes, you need to acknowledge. See, the thing that I do is I help to make sense of it for people so they can stop being afraid of it. You know what I'm trying to say?
I am asking myself, God, why am I not being in full meditation? And it's because I am not getting my space. I'm not finding the secret time, the secret space. I can't because I live by people. I'm around people. I can't
It's okay,
come and be
sister. Even that can be overcame. But let me help you find peace, right? Find some stillness, right?
to the beach
Um,
and stuff.
let me tell you something that you should have been told. A lot of sisters like yourself need to be told that experience sexual abuse and physical abuse in their childhood, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you.
So there are people like me who went through
Yes,
this.
yes. I'm going to send you links to a podcast of sisters that went through this. Yeah. Now
Okay.
listen. I need to tell you this because you needed a man to tell you this. There's nothing wrong with you, right? There was never anything wrong with you as a child, right? Because your mother made you think that there was something wrong with you, correct?
Yeah, she did.
Yes, and you were made to feel less than and dirty by the adults in your life, correct?
I never feel like I was beautiful too growing up. I always felt that I was ugly and stuff.
Exactly. You were made to feel that way by the people that were supposed to love you, correct?
Yeah,
Exactly. And that can make you want to seek love in another human being, right? To give you that love that you never got as a child, yes?
yeah,
Okay. So because of that, those negative entities, they know that. Does that make sense?
yes,
I've never met you and I know that. Does that make sense?
correct.
So if a negative entity that can be housed in an individual in those demonic spirits, those agents of the matrix, they jump from person to person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do know that even in the Astral, they are
Exactly. Exactly. Guess what? Because guess what? This plane is their home. They don't want to let it go, right? They're not going to let it go without a fight. Does that make sense?
come back with you on your plane as well. Huh?
Exactly. So the point is that they jump in these bodies, these men that you meet. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
That had this negative energy. Now they're attracted to you because they want to be influences in your life to make you not deal with your pain, right? So they're gonna say, you know what, all that pain that you have, don't deal with it. You know what, just have sex with me instead.
what did you say?
I said those demons that enter those men, right? They're there to say to you, don't deal with your pain, just have sex with
Yeah,
me instead. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does because
Don't face your pain. Just take this just enjoy this pleasure, right?
yeah,
Okay. And guess what? When you sleep with that man, right? Instead of dealing with your pain, then you're letting those demons win. And those are your own inner demons.
guys, I'm not dealing with my pain. I'm adding like more weight upon me.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're avoiding the pain and experiencing pleasure instead. Yeah.
Yeah, I realized when I sleep with this guy, I was with a blind guy I was telling you about.
Yes.
I would actually feel like a burden and heavy and weak. My knees would get weak, man. Like if somebody banged my knees, and I would be drained.
Yes, of course. Because he's feeding from that little girl inside you, that scared little girl. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
He's feeding through you that little scared girl that was molested as a child, right? So
hmm
he's taking your life energy, and what he wants to do is he wants to numb your soul and numb your spirit, so you never acknowledge the pain, right? Because he's controlled by an outside entity that it was put in him to do that work, right?
yeah. Because I try to get rid of him in my life. It's like 7 years he's around me. Huh?
Yeah. So here's what you do, right? So we're not playing the victim role, right? You need to acknowledge and take responsibility for why that man is in your life, right?
Yeah,
You were weak, right? And you were afraid to face your own pain of what happened to you during your childhood, correct?
yeah.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
blocked it. Huh?
Say again.
It's like I blocked it, and then it's still like it's just I want to get rid of it forever, man.
Yes. Well, yeah. So you can't get rid of it. I think talking right now is going to help you. Um, the thing is that if anything, so the seed of God is within you, right? That is your soul, yes.
Yes,
And nothing is more powerful than God, yeah.
correct.
Exactly. God or love conquers all.
Yeah.
So that means if you have to ignore something, that what you're saying that you're saying that you're under the illusion, right? Under the spell that something could ever be more powerful than that seed of love or that seed of God within you, correct?
But I do know that I hear God telling me that he's my husband now. Huh? Yeah, but
So,
we are all that we do feel lonely. Huh?
mhm. Exactly. Well, guess what, sister? This world is not your home, so you're always married to God. You know what I'm trying to say? No matter what. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Yes.
Exactly. So the point I'm trying to say is that when you take responsibility for the people that you bring into your life, right? Because of the demons you haven't handled within yourself, right?
Mhm.
Then you can reclaim your power, right?
Mhm.
And when you reclaim your power, you no longer have to play the victim. Does that make sense?
I believe that.
Yes. Exactly. So the fact that you're able to get on here and talk to me, a almost complete stranger, about the sexual molestation that you went through as a child and the physical abuse from your mother, that means that you're able to face those pains, correct?
Yeah.
In a public place.
Face it, because I did talk to both of them about it as a big woman.
Yes.
So
That's
I
good.
talk now more than before to my kids and stuff, and to certain people to let them know,
Yeah, that's good. And I'm sure that can make that can make you feel small at first,
Yeah.
because everybody thinks of their mother as a such a strong person, but even a mother once was a little girl. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So that's good. That took a lot of inner strength. And you know what? I speak to a lot of sisters on a daily basis that have had to do the same thing and tell their daughters that they were abused as a child, and why they are the way they are,
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And that what it does is it just
Burned me like before, but it's still there. I don't think it could ever go. That's the thing, huh?
the pain
Because when you
from
remember, it's like you go back in a movie, or you go back right in the past.
eventually all falsehood will pass away. Does that make sense?
I do know that has made me stronger,
Yes.
so I don't let it affect me. What affects me is that I'm not taking total control of my inner self, man. I need to stable it. I need to, like, as I was telling you about the balance within myself, the 7 chakras.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to master before I can move on.
Correct. Well, guess what? That pain you were talking about that you feel can never be conquered or whatever, it can never be let go fully.
Mm-hmm.
It can be let go fully. Eventually it will. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Now I feel that ultimately we are all connected. Like my soul and your soul are connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Christian theology has something called the body of Christ. It's a term that basically helps us understand that we're all one body, right? Christ is the head of that body. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so we're all getting out of this world through the head, which is Christ. So eventually this world will eventually pass. All the falseness of this world will pass, and there'll be a new world, right? A new heaven. That's why we're doing the work that we're doing here, to get soak up all this falsehood, all this pain, all this trauma, right, through ourselves. Is to take on the pain of the world, and through ourselves to transmute it through meditation and chakra work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it no longer has a purpose in this world and a purpose in us. So eventually, yeah, because I have pain in my heart too from hurts, right? But I know that eventually those pains will be gone, right? And that all falsehood eventually will pass away. Now, that's a faith. Go ahead.
How did you get into, like, studying this and mastering how you talk?
I've been meditating really hard. No friends, no sex. For over I think about 8 years now.
So you're a priest.
I mean, I might have been a priest in a past life. Right now, I've gotten to the point where I've healed my heart enough to be able to express the love and the passion for healing to others. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what do you mean that you were a priest in the past life? This is what my friend told me, huh?
I'm
The
not saying
same guy.
I'm just saying that maybe I was a priest in a past life. Maybe I was a lot of things in a past life. You know what I'm trying to say? What I am now is up to you, that's up to other people to decide what I am and what they call me. You know what I'm trying to say? Ultimately, I just consider myself a servant of God, right?
Yeah.
So you can define me based upon what you want to define me. It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm trying to say? Ultimately, my goal is to help to end this world, right?
Well, that is great.
Yes.
This is what I want to know.
Yes.
What did my friend mean when he told me that I was a man in my life before here?
So obviously, we can come back as a man or a woman. That's not a big, that shouldn't be a big shock to you, you know?
Yeah, it was because
It
I want to
was?
know. Yeah, he was the priest in your past life, and you came back as a woman. That is the guy that I told you studies philosophies in the school of philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, that's that. I don't. I mean, I mean, to me, that's not a big shock. I mean, I'm sure I've had past lives as a woman. You know, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not really. It just depends on what you're here to do. You know.
Okay.
They call it path working. You know. So, um, whatever your soul came to do is what it came to do, and it used whatever vessel it felt was the best vessel to do it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was never taught about that or reincarnation. So everything spiritually that came to me was new, and I was
Yeah.
like, whoa. But when I made my kids, I used to watch them and I would ask them, um, hello, baby, you were here already?
Mm-hmm.
And then now that I'm studying it, it just draws me back to the point when they're born. I used to ask them, were you here already? You was here already?
Mm-hmm.
They would watch me and like they would respond.
Mm. So you have some spiritually enlightened babies, yeah?
Yes, they are very spiritual. They see more stronger than I, man.
Oh yeah.
Before it happened inside, but these children, they see things. They actually like they see spirits and stuff.
Mm.
And if I see a spirit, it will be like for 2 seconds,
Yep.
and they would see it for long.
So how old are your children? What are the ages currently?
From 17 to 2 years.
Okay.
I have 8 kids.
8?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god, you like the woman in the shoe here, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you're busy.
I have 4 girls and 4 boys.
Gotcha. So that's all the noise I hear in the background all the time, yeah?
Yeah, that's them.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, wow. God bless you. You're a busy woman.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wonder, like, those children must help center you, yeah?
Yeah, they do. Like today, like Faith put her head on my hands today and start to pray and easy praying and thing. And I have another one that they want to come to God. They're ready to get baptized. I have 2 of them. They're getting the calling, so I'm waiting on them to come. I can't force them. They are the ones.
Mm-hmm.
So all my children, they are very spiritual. They love God, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so happy for that.
That's beautiful. I mean, they're blessed to have a mother like you who's to be their guide. You know.
And they would be like, go for me, Satan, in Jesus' name, because they see shadows. So I asked them, what? Mommy, shadow. And they would know if they would know instantly it's not good.
Hmm. Wow.
Actually talk and say, why are you watching me? So, and it's not something that they do all the time. I know my kids. So I know when they see something, they would run, Mommy, I'm not going in the back there. You see the shadows, Mommy? It's like, what shadows? And then they would point and show me, and I'm not seeing it, but they would.
But all the children see the same thing sometimes, or what, or just one of them?
They won't see it same time. Like one would show me, and I would then question the other one and said, "You ever see shadows in the back?" And he would say yes, and I would say, "So how come you didn't tell me?" And he said, "Remember you say when you see what you say?" So I asked him, "What did you say?" And he said, "Go from here in Jesus' name." That's what I told them when they see evil stuff,
Gotcha.
that they won't be afraid and they would tell them, go away from here in the name of Jesus and stuff.
Gotcha. So have you tried saging your home or something like that, or no?
Yeah, man, I smoke at well, I don't have a home, so they have been seeing it, but I do know how to smoke out. When I travel spiritually, I was in a school and they taught me a lot of stuff as well.
Well, shoot, teach me something, huh?
Okay, they told me like to get 7 different bush, and that would help take away the aura and stuff. It's called like a bush bat.
Mm-hmm.
I was taught that in the school that I get 7 different bush, put it in a bucket, go to the sea, and I take half the same bush that I'm using in the sea that I use it at home. They showed me from step what to do, that you use water first, and you cleanse your house with water. You take a hose and you wash your whole house out, and then you take the bush and you start to beat it from the top of the roof. So everything that goes up must come down, all the corners and in the middle, and that's where you get the room. You get the whole room. I cleanse in each room. They showed me how to do it,
Mm.
and told me to put the light in the bucket and light it, and every step. And they told me when I do that to go to the sea or the river, and you use the same bush and you ask God permission, call upon the angel of the sea, and you take the bush and you ring it around your head. It's like you're doing the same thing with your home, huh?
Mm.
You take the bush and you ring it from your head straight onto your foot, and you ask the angel of the sea to take your aura, to take the bad vibe and bury it, because the sea is called a cemetery as well. And we call her like Mother Ocean, Mother Lakshmi. There are different names for her, and we ask her to take our aura and take it away. And then they told me to bathe in milk, so you can call back a different aura on you, like this sweet aura, sweetness. You bathe in milk and flowers and honey and anything that is sweet, perfume and stuff. So when you leave from there, you're walking with like sweetness, sweet vibes, everything sweet. So your bad aura is cast into the sea, and you're walking out with a new vibes, which is sweet.
Mm.
That's what one of the stuff.
You're saying that message that you told me about cleansing the home and cleansing your body, you got that
Yeah.
from astral traveling, or did you get that?
Yeah, I got that in the spirit world, man.
So who told you? Like, what was it? That same man, that same dark black man, or what?
No, I went into another dimension.
So tell
Do
me
you know
about
how
that.
there are different dimensions are?
Okay.
Yeah, and I was in a school, like a university. So I was in a classroom, different classrooms. And one of the classrooms that I was in, you remember when you go to school, you're going to learn. And there were teachers teaching you. So each classroom I would learn different stuff.
So describe the classroom. Who's the teacher? What do they look like? You know, come on, this is cool.
Well, one of them was a man. Okay, the first classroom I couldn't see the teacher. He was a shadow man, a tall shadow. Yeah?
Yeah.
And he called me to the blackboard, and instantly my spirit was there. I didn't even have to walk. And he was like writing some numbers on the blackboard and told me, "This is your protection." And when I watched it, it was Psalms from the Bible. So he wasn't talking to me, but I could hear him. And
So
then when I
mind to mind or spirit to spirit, yeah.
but I saw him enter the classroom, and it was a shadow. And then he put something in my head. It was like a triangle with an eye in a black cloth, and it disappeared. Yeah, but he told me not like everything I can talk about. I don't know why. There were certain things they told me that I can say and that what I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So I only talk like what I can say, you know.
Understood.
And the he wrote on the blackboard, it was Psalms from the Bible, and he said, "This is your protection. Use it."
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to another classroom, and there was a lady there. She was teaching us. And the other classroom I went, that taught me how to cleanse my house and my body.
Mm-hmm.
It was a man that taught me that, and he was like, it goes hand in hand that you have to cleanse your house, and then you cleanse yourself. So when you go back home, you get no like, there's no humbugs, there's no bad energy, there's no bad current. But if you cleanse yourself alone and you go back home, it's like you get mixed up in the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we were very specific in the class, how we deal with ourselves. You must clean the house first, and then you go to the sea or the river, and you deal with yourself after. So when you go back home, there's no Hamburg. You can put your protection in your house after, like prayers and stuff.
There's no what? No humbug? No humbug? What is that?
Meaning that no negative energies can flow into your home like it
Gotcha.
used. Yeah, and then they give us seals. I don't know if you know, like seals of Solomon and stuff.
Describe it to me.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot like stars. A star, like the triangle in and out.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. And I did also get the triangle with the eye. And the course was a seal. It was a major seal.
Okay. So what you're saying is that what does that help solidify the closing of whatever ritual you did to cleanse your house?
Okay. Simple as this. When you clean your house, you can put up a seal at your front door and your back door. And they told me that how to seal my house, every window and every door entrance. And a simple seal is like the course. And when you put a seal, you say your words. I ask for protection. I seal this place with the blood of Jesus, nothing but your Holy Spirit, God. That anything comes from here, that it will go. When it sees the seal, it will run. And
Gotcha.
you and your imprint and your intentions, and you anoint it. You anoint the door, the windows, and stuff with your intentions on it.
Gotcha. Now you've done this before. Now did you feel the results, obviously, or what?
I used to, and then it stopped, and I felt like it wasn't working. But I then realized that it's in the house because my daughter was seeing it. Because I was asking why every time I smoke cleanup, it's like nothing isn't working. What the hell? And before I saw results in other places, but in this particular house. And then my kid told me, Mommy, I'm seeing your landlord, and he died. He killed himself where he was living, but I don't know how come he came back to that place. He had like stuff there, he had belongings there, so the voice was telling me that's what drew him back, because he was wandering and looking for a home, and that was his only home that he knew. And my daughter was seeing him.
Oh, I see.
But he didn't come back like normal. He was angry and sad and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought a message to me.
How old was she at the time?
That was last year. She was 5 years old.
Oh wow, boy, your kids are really spiritual, huh?
Yeah.
So what did you do to get that his I guess you would call that a disembodied spirit, yeah?
Yeah, because when I asked her, what is he telling you? She said he wants to go home. He's in a dead space, Mommy. He wants to go home. He's looking for his home.
So what did you do to get him home?
It became to a point where his energy was going. I don't know how. And then there was a lot of arguments in the house with my husband and I every day. So I think he was feeling from our energies, and it was getting worse. And eventually, someone came for the house and said they were the owners, and we had to leave. But he wanted us out because that was the last message I got from my daughter. He used to be crying and saying, Mommy, he's in the toilet. Would see him in the toilet. But when I smoke out my place and stuff, he would go outside, because she told me that he's outside. He's in my car, sitting in my car. So it would be like he would be there waiting until the smoke, until the scent, everything just go away. 3 days after, he would come back into the house. And this is why I wanted to know why is he coming back? Why? What is with this place? But he had things there. He had a lot of things there.
Tell me about the man before he died. Like, was he a spiritual man? Was he a man of faith, or what?
Well, I did find a lot of books in that place that he was spiritual.
So if he was spiritual, why would he stay in this realm and trying to find his house again? You know what I'm trying to say? As if it matters.
Well, I think that he was murdered because this is what my spirit picks up with him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My spirit saw him like he was murdered. He didn't kill himself. He was not ready to go, and he was murdered. So he was in a state of shock. And he saw the boat by the river and stuff, because I got a vision of it as well. But he wasn't ready to go. He didn't want to accept the fact that that he died.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then the boat left, and he was wandering and came straight back to where he knew. Because he lived in an apartment, but that was the place that he lived. But he rented me because it was like 3 bedrooms. So he's like, what the hell am I doing in 3 bedrooms? He rent me it, and he went to live in a bedroom in a different area.
Gotcha. So basically,
and then he was gay.
Basically, he wanted his place back, and what he did was he was still weak, so he needed to create the energy that he could feed from, which was the arguments, right? Yeah.
Constant arguments and sex vibes in that house.
Yeah. So basically, he began to feed from your guys' energy to gain power in the spirit realm.
At first, he was not a bad intention, because I never felt anything bad with him, even my daughter. And then he became angry and angry and angry, and he wanted us out the house. He wanted back his place. My daughter said that he wants us out. He wants back his home.
So tell me about the man you're living with at the time. Is that man still in your life? The man you're arguing with?
Yeah, well, he's blind, but we just broke up all of a sudden, huh?
He was a blind man, you're saying?
Yeah, he is blind still.
But you're not with him anymore? No,
he just walked out.
Okay, your house was basically under attack by that spirit, you're saying? That one.
Yeah, I know something for the place because I smoke on my place a lot, and I dealt with it in terms of cleansing the house and all of that more than once. It would just drive it outside, and when everything was done, the smoke, everything, it would come back. Yeah,
you were telling me before we got cut off. You were saying that that your daughter would see him, or someone would see him in the car, and then he would come back. So he was kind of escaping those vibrations of cleansing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But when the time passed, like a few days after, he would come back. I don't know how, because I sealed the doors, the windows. I kept asking myself, what is the mess? What is the mess that I'm doing? I don't know. He remained there.
Okay.
And eventually I moved out.
I got you. So I don't want to harp on that story too much. Pretty much I understand how it ends. You basically end up moving out. But let me ask you this, because there's something that we had discussed earlier. You were saying that I'm not sure if this happened recently. You said after you got baptized, maybe you began to see people's auras, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? Now, is that something that you've always been able to do since a child, or is that something that that happened to you recently in your adulthood after being baptized?
No, I used to see that since I was small. I would talk to someone and I would see their vibration in colors, and if their vibration weren't good, it would be like a shadow edging around their body. And some of them I would see like colors, like a rainbow around them, but I didn't know what it was until I got older and I realized that's the chakras or the aura, whatever they call it. So I see it.
So you've seen it since you were a child, then?
Yeah, it's since I was small, man.
Do you feel sometimes like you're going crazy?
Yeah, I think sometimes like if I'm going mad, because I don't understand how come I'm getting all this. I'm seeing like rays of light around people, and like I'm telling this guy, did you have glitter on your wall?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize the aura was coming off from him. Huh?
Yeah.
And it was expanding till it reached the wall, and then he told me, "You are seeing my aura. Oh my God! Don't tell anybody you see that." So I'm like, "Why?" I was like, "Why?" He's saying, "Don't tell anybody that." And I went by my friend, and I was seeing his aura, but like I was like seeing like glitter on the wall, but I was just channeling my eye on the glitter. So I was like, "You have glitter on your wall, man?" Say him, "No, I don't." So I said, "Look, dear, you seeing it?" He said, "No." So I said, "I'm serious, it is shining." So he says, "What color?" I said, "It's like a glittery, goldish, sparkling glitter." And then he told You are seeing the aura of me. Look beyond the glitter, and I look, and the glitter channel right over him, over his body, came right back to him. Then I saw the rainbow over him.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I see two people as well.
You see what? Sorry, was the last part you said?
I said I see it in few people, but not everyone.
Gotcha. That brother was kind of an enlightened being to some degree, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he is like I don't know what he meant, but he said he is reincarnated and he came back to teach.
Okay.
So, I was like, okay.
Gotcha. I don't see auras, but I will say that I've been around children like babies that have seen me and have gone like lost their mind, like they just saw like Michael Jackson or something like that. You know what I'm gonna say? So like now these babies can't speak obviously, but like I was in line where there was two people in front of me and their baby was going crazy when they saw me, you know, and I knew that the baby can sense my energy. You know what I'm trying to say, and who I was spiritually, but I was just basically just I was just kind of like, all right, calm down, baby, don't give me away here. You know what I'm trying to say, because she's making me blush, you know. Here's my thing, like, did you?
Yeah, but it wasn't always with me, huh?
What do you mean
I,
that gift?
yeah, it used to be with me when I was small, and then when I started having sex,
Mm-hmm.
it's it stopped, and then when I got married, it came back strong. I started seeing and hearing everything came back, and it stopped again because I started doing wrong things. I had another man and all of that, and it stopped. And then when I got baptized, it came back like 7 times stronger.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're saying that based upon your vibration and where you're at in terms of your vibration, your gifts were affected by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
No, do you think is that? Why do you think it cuts?
well, number one, you had told me earlier that you noticed that after you had sex with certain people that your knees would hurt, right, and that your body would ache. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But what?
go ahead.
You're the professor. You're supposed to explain that to me now.
Well, I know why, but basically here the thing is, I want to know what give me an example of that, of the person that you had sex with when that happened though. Was it that guy when the house was being under demonic possession or what?
No, I wouldn't be in the house alone, but my energy would be drained, and I would get like pain in my knees and stuff.
But this is after sex, you're saying, with a man.
Yep.
Okay, now did this? I'm saying, like, was this man? Do you think this man might have been draining you?
Huh?
Do you think this man might have been draining you? I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, my spirit, I hear a voice. Remember, I told you that. It told me that I need to like stop doing what I'm doing and have like one person.
Oh, you were saying you had multiple partners.
No, I used to have like two guys. It was never more than two.
That's multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I
go ahead.
told me that they are my energy.
Gotcha. I hear what you're saying. So basically, like, okay, so you were okay. I hear what you're saying. So your energy was being drawn. Your energy was being like scattered all over the place because of being with two different men. I think you know what I'm trying to say.
No, but I just used to feel weak.
Okay. I mean, I if
Yeah,
you
but
if
why?
okay,
Why do that happen?
because you're giving now that person that you're having sex with and you felt weak. Now was that a spiritually evolved person? Was he an empath himself?
No, they're not.
Okay, so that means that you have a certain vibration and a certain light within yourself, right? That
Yeah.
they don't have. So the thing you can't mix light with darkness and expect to get light. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do understand what you mean.
So it's like you can't like obviously. So if when two people come together, their vibrations normalize. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So that
I
means
do. The
he's
blind guy I was telling you about,
yeah.
I would feel that he will be sucking from me when we have sex. I actually feel it.
Okay, now was that always the case, or did that happen more during when that disembodied spirit of your ex landlord came into the house?
That is before the landlord and all of that because I've been with him 6 years.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. But okay, so The point is that, okay, so if your vibration's at a, I'm using me as an example. If I'm at a 10 and that person I'm sleeping with is at a 2, then unless I'm very aware of what I'm doing in terms of sexuality, like
Yeah.
I'm going to give my energy to that person so when we come together, that means they're going from an energetic level from a 2 to a 4, and I'm going down from a 10 to a 4 or something. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, then it was him alone because when we were living together in the house that I was telling you about, we lived there for 9 months.
Yeah.
And I never had anyone beside him, just him alone.
Okay.
So it had to be him.
Yeah.
One was sucking my energy because he started like seeing stuff and all of that. He started getting visions and stuff.
Well, he's probably being energized by you. Like there is a way, I'm pretty sure, to have sex with somebody that's on a lower vibration and not be drained. But what you would have to do is you would have to enjoy the sex on only a root chakra level. You know what I'm trying to say? If that makes sense. Like only in a vaginal level. If you ever open your heart to that person, then they're going to drain from the higher chakras. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I did open my heart. What are you talking about? The 7th chakra?
Yeah, your chakras. Meaning this, like, some people as an empath, we're born with our heart chakra already developed and open. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do. I do believe
Okay,
that.
a lot of people in this world are functioning on the lower chakra levels. Generally speaking, the root chakra, or basically they're just root chakra. They're maybe they're functioning on the sacral chakra and below, but not much more above that. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
the chakras are like minds. You know what I'm trying to say? They're like minds of their own, or seats of consciousness, right? So our consciousness is to love and to spread love and to spread God's love in this world. Theirs is to survive and to procreate and to have pleasure, earthly pleasure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For the most part, that's what most human beings are. So now, when you come to, I'll just use me as an example. If I were to come together with a woman who's not spiritually evolved, I would have to make sure that I'm not giving the same love that I would give to someone like, maybe yourself or an empathic woman that has her heart developed. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if I did, then she would be draining from my higher chakras, right? And I would,
Yeah.
and because her higher chakras are not open,
Can't have sex with anyone because they would take our energy and stuff.
you can have sex with people, but they would have to be on a certain frequency. Does that make sense?
Would you say that we would have to be on the level that I'm at?
Yes, they have to be at the level that you're at. Or if they're not at the level that you're at, then you need to be making sure that you have the spiritual psychic defense and awareness to make sure that you're enjoying it on only a carnal level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they will laugh at me if I tell them about my spirituality.
You don't have to tell people shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Number one, if you want to vibrate higher, you need to probably for a long time really practice. You really need to just fucking abstain from sex, really.
You serious?
Of course I'm fucking serious. I haven't had sex in a hell of a long time, but guess what? I'm vibrating high as shit right now. You know what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, we're not here just for fucking, if you're here to do, if you're here on a spiritual mission, which I know you are from the things you've told me, then, we're not here just to goddamn have carnal pleasure. You know what I'm trying to say? This world's an illusion. We're here.
When was the last time you had sex, Professor?
Professor, lol, me?
I don't mind being rude. I just want to.
No, me.
I'm
Okay,
trying to.
I'll tell you. I don't care. I'll tell you. It's been probably like, I don't know. I would say like, I don't know, maybe like 8, 9, or maybe even 10 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's see here. 2000.
Believe this.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
You do love God, man.
It has not. Yeah. Well, I love God, but there's nothing. It's not. It's more about God. God is within in me. You know what I'm trying to say? So all I'm doing, I'll put it this way, right? I'm in this world with the knowledge that I have to heal myself before I could ever fully love a woman. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You never fully healed yourself before you went to love a man, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's part of the reason why your life is the way it is in terms of, you have
Trying to do self-healing, and there are so many men are trying to get to me, man.
Well, how can they're getting to you because guess what? You're giving something off. You know, number one, if your sex is only going to be as good as your heart. Does that make sense? Or your love. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And because you're an empath, your love is great. Your love is great. That means your sex has the potential of being amazing, right?
Well, I guess.
So men are going to want that, right? Men are going to want that. You know, now it's easier to go in and receive pleasure than it is to deal with pain, no?
Uh-huh.
So, you know, that's the thing. You have to, if you want to fully heal yourself and be vibrating, you know, and be married to, like you said, be married to God, right? Then you gotta make some sacrifices. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. In the work we do, you know, in the God we serve, we sacrifice our earthly drives. You know what I'm trying to say? Where in some religions they sacrifice chickens and goats. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We sacrifice our earthly pleasures, right? To gain spiritual light, right?
Yeah.
That's the path of those of faith, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm not saying, you know, you're a grown woman, you can do what you want, but I'm saying that if you're gonna have sex, do it with somebody who's on your level. You know what I'm trying to say?
So I gotta get a spiritual guy to have sex with.
Oh, you're cute. No, you just need to really. You're funny, lady. I don't know who. I'm not gonna give you advice on who you need to have sex with in terms of tell you who you need to have sex. What I'm saying is you need to be with somebody that's vibrating either higher than you or that's not going to take advantage of you energetically, and that's going to raise you up, right? Because sex can bring you down, like you said. Sex can also elevate you if it's done right, correct?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you need to be with somebody, and number one, don't have a want to be with somebody. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, just be yourself, and if it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But like, you know, don't go out seeking pleasure outside yourself. You know, when you can find it within. Truthfully, go ahead, sister.
I would take into thought what you say.
Yeah.
I am learning as you see me in the group, sir.
Yeah, of course.
I really am trying to like find myself
Yes.
and myself spiritually, ground myself as well.
Yeah.
So I am trying to let my light so shine so bright, but damn man,
What's the matter?
I need a little help on the seven chakra in meditation, huh?
Okay, cool. So let me ask you, you live in the islands, you live in Trinidad. So they practice I'm sure many religions there, but one of them is, you said, is the Orishas or something like that, which I guess, was that Yoruba, or what is that, Ifa, or what is that?
Yeah, Orisha, they represent the ancestors and the elements, fire, fire, earth, wind, and water. They
Okay.
pay homage to Mother of the Sea, known as Mother Ocean.
Hmm.
Yemoja, it's really from African tradition that
I,
was brought into our country, even the Hindus as well.
I understand.
When the Indians came down, they brought that religion with them.
Understand. But let me ask you, because I'm an outsider looking in, right? So help me understand this. Do they practice like killing cutting off heads of chickens and goats and things like that to appease the ancestors, or no? Where you're from?
In the Orishas, some of them are called to give blood sacrifice and some give food offering. So it's what they are called to do in the Orishas.
Gotcha. All right. So have you ever participated in that, or have you ever seen that happen, or no?
Yeah, I go to a lot of feasts to see and to edify myself.
Gotcha.
I go to other schools to learn. I go to the Hindu temple as well. I go to the Orisha feast. And I've even went to Kabbalistic stuff
Mm-hmm.
to learn. So I would identify certain seals and stuff when I see.
Understood. So this is my understanding. Basically, this is going to be hard for people to really come to grips with, but the way that the Gnostics would look at the creators of the universe, right?
Yeah.
Would be kind of like, you ever seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, I did.
The way the Gnostics would look at the creators of the universe and those creative spirits and things like that would be like the way that in the Matrix you would look at the creator of the Matrix. Remember that white guy that has Neo and he's at the end there where he has all these little screens.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's a little confusing, but in the Gnostic understanding, the creators of this universe are not like your friends. They are the beings that kind of created a world to become gods themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do. I'm listening.
Yeah. So the creative. So in the Bible, it's a little bit confusing because God is in the Garden of Eden. And he says, don't eat of the tree of the fruit of knowledge and knowledge of good and evil, right?
Correct.
So he said in the Bible, God's like, don't do that because you're gonna know the knowledge of good and evil, and you're gonna become human and things like that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that we shouldn't deal with as human beings.
Well, I'm just trying to make you understand that it's a little like Christianity is a little confusing because there are different gods in the Bible that people don't really understand. So, for example, there is the story of the Garden of Eden where we lived in a perfect place where there is free will, right? And so we had the ability to choose to eat from that one tree that would bring us into a world where there was good and evil. Now, God didn't want that to happen, right? He didn't want us to become clothed in flesh, right? Mm-hmm. So if that God didn't want you to come into the world, correct? Then why in the scripture in the Bible does it say God created the world in 7 days? Right? And come let us make them in our image and after our likeness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So the point is that there in the Bible, in the Gnostic understanding, the gods that they're talking about is more like maybe a Christian will call the fallen angels, or the beings that chose to make their own universe. You know what I'm trying to say? So in the Matrix story, that would be like the creator of the Matrix and the agents. You know what I'm trying to say, that govern it. And in this world, we would call those demons. Does that make sense? Or fallen angels, or whatever you want to call that. Depending on what your understanding is. But from my understanding, is that those beings they suck off of they live on through our suffering, our pain, our sacrifices in terms of giving them blood sacrifices, our prayers and things like that. Because if they're so powerful, right, then why do you need to give them blood sacrifices? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So obviously they're only surviving based upon what you give them. Does that make sense? Because your soul's eternal. That means the source that it draws from is eternal. You know what I'm trying to say? That means it doesn't need it doesn't really need any kind of sacrifices other than you sacrificing your human drives and your I'm trying to say and your human desires. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you hear me say that I've been abstinent for 10 years, you know what I'm trying to say? The amount of spiritual power I've gained during that time is because I've sacrificed myself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Where people in these other traditions, they're called to sacrifice outside themselves. I'm trying to say, obviously, it's easier to go grab a chicken or kill a chicken than it is to, be mindful of your own human desire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that what it did was there were two. This is not my understanding, but this is what I heard Bobby Hemmett say, that there were two schools like there's a time, like a time called the Atlantean times or the Lemurian times. This is before Egypt, when we were spiritually advanced, and there were two different schools that came out of that. One was like the Orishas and things like that, or the Yorubas type things, and then one was more like the ancient Egyptian type schools. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then out of the ancient Egyptian type schools came Christianity. You know what I'm trying to say, or Gnosticism, right? So you know that the Virgin Mary was the Virgin Isis, right? And that
Yeah,
Horus is Jesus and things like that, right? So
yeah, yeah.
so
There's the representation of his names in different religion, huh?
I'm sorry, say again.
There are different representations of their names in different
Correct,
religions.
exactly. So you'll find this you'll find the same thing in Hinduism. I'm trying to say the same archetypes or something similar, right? But the point
Hmm.
is that that school of thought, right, was about learning to break away from the world.
I have realized you have a lot of empaths in your group.
Hmm.
So I wanted to ask you if they were also traumatized growing up.
Yes, they
And
were.
if
A
they
lot
were
of them were.
familiar, like in my life when I was small, are there any familiar stories like me?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll send you two. Yeah, you can
Are
listen to
you
them.
serious?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll send you one, and hopefully that'll help you heal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sister.
So they have been through a lot of similar stuff as me.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. You got to head off here.
Huh?
You got to head off, or no? You have time to talk still.
Yeah, I have a little time. No, I thought I was like the only one. That shocked me, huh?
No, not at all. Not at all, sister. No, and that's why I'm doing. That's partly why I'm doing what I'm doing, so people don't feel alone and isolated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to kind of close on the whole Orisha thing, like with the Orishas, there's always going to be. I'm not going to say it's just the Orishas because guess what? There is evil people within within the Catholic religion and all types of religions that are quote unquote Christian
You
and in,
defend every religion is what you choose to do.
yes, I'm saying that in all religions, from Islam to Christianity to Judaism to Hinduism to Ifa and these Yoruba type religions, there's going to be good and evil in all of them, right? Based upon what they choose to do. But I'm saying that in terms of the core beliefs of what Gnosticism and the early Christians really taught, it was pure in its intention. You know what I'm trying to say? And it may have been misguided or mistranslated by people, or just misunderstood. But ultimately, it was really about this world not being your home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And going inward and learning to sacrifice yourself, meaning giving like in the story of Christ, he's willing to give his own life. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Not the
does.
life of another or even another animal, but himself, right? So that I'm just saying that I think it's a good thing to why I have your attention because I know you're currently in like a lot of different schools of thought to kind of bring that to your attention, right? As long as
Yeah.
as long as you're in a school with the whole Orisha thing, there's always going to be a duality. So the Orishas, in one sense, can be well, this is the angel of the ocean or whatever, and that could be a beautiful thing, right? Um, but there's always going to be a negative polarity to that type thing. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
when you stop praying to them and praying outside, because when you pray to them, you're praying outside yourself. Does that make sense? Because if that's not the case, and it's not outside, if it wasn't outside yourself, then you would never have to do a physical action in the outer world to gain power. Does that make sense from them?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to touch on that. Um, so I'm not sure like if there's anything that any questions you might have in terms of for me. I recently had a podcast with a sister that talked about seeing spirits and hearing voices and messages for people and things like that. Um,
Yeah.
so that podcast will be posted on our Facebook group and YouTube channel tomorrow. Um,
Okay. Well, that's my gift. That's what God gave me.
that sister's story is really gonna touch you and help you, I think. Now her childhood was, she had some bullying, but I don't think it was as traumatic as yours. But still, her gifts are very similar, and I think it's going to be able to help you out. Let me see if I can find it. So there's clairvoyance, which is psychic sight, right? there's clairsentience, which is psychic feeling. I guess that clairsentience is, I guess that's what an empath has, psychic feeling. I guess that's what I have, you know? There's clairaudience, which is psychic hearing. And that's when you hear things in your, I guess, in your head, right?
Yeah.
And then there's clair, they call it clair cognizance. That's psychic knowing. I guess that's just intuition. I had that too as an empath. There's you know, psychic tasting and psychic smelling, but we're gonna skip those. But basically,
Because your sight will be different. That's true. I know what you mean.
yeah. So, but basically, so like so I know that you were saying that a lot of your children have what I guess what they would call clairvoyance, the ability to see things
Yeah.
in you know, kind of different planes. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you said you had that as well in terms of seeing auras, no?
Yeah.
Exactly. And obviously you're an empath, so obviously you have the clairsentience, which is the psychic feeling, and then you also have clairaudience, which is the psychic hearing. Now, let me ask you. I'm wondering, because clairaudience is not intuition. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not like feeling a certain way. That's actually hearing a message in your mind. Is that what you have?
Yeah, I do hear it in my mind. It's like a voice talking to me.
Okay, cool. So that's what it is. That's clairaudience. Okay, so that hopefully, you know, and I'll probably post some articles in the Facebook group for people to listen to kind of hopefully read and kind of touch up on that and hopefully hone their gifts a little bit more. But hopefully that gives you a grounding point to be able to understand what you're going through and things like that. Now let me ask you, like, how have you been recently since we talked? You know, we probably spoke maybe 2 weeks ago. Like, have you I don't know, how's your life been? How's your gifts been? Is there any changes or what?
Able to like focus and channel my energy and my gifts in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because I've been through a lot. Remember I told you I have no way to sleep and all of that. So it has hampered me a lot in terms of spiritualism, that I can focus. I can't meditate how I want because I'm not in my own space.
Yeah.
Really hard, but I will get there.
Yeah.
I can give up, huh?
Yeah, I hear you.
My mom is coming and I will get back on to you.
All right, sister. We'll talk soon. All right.
It is been a pleasure talking to you, Professor, and I will talk to you later.
All right. Peace, sister.
Okay, peace.
If you or anyone you know would be interested in spiritual life coaching from a fellow empath of the African diaspora, email afroempath@gmail.com or visit us on the web at afroempath.com for more information.